Whether you're a hardcore Ben 10 fan or just furious at me for challenging your own favorite hero, this video will break down why Ben Tennyson is one of the most powerful characters in fiction ever. I'm Kuro the Artist, and I'm going to show you why Ben can beat Superman, Goku, and pretty much anybody he faces. Spawning 4 series and movies of heavy continuity, Ben 10 is easily Cartoon Network's most fleshed out character. While I will mainly focus on Superman and Goku in this video, as they are obviously the most popular and widely accepted standards of fan-made versus battles, I'm gonna start from Ben's most basic abilities, and make my way up to his most powerful ones in the end, just to get an all-around feel for the character for those unfamiliar with his real potential. To emphasize, I'm gonna show you how Ben can beat the most basic street-level characters and then work my way up to the top tier. So stick around, you'd be surprised what this kid can do. Ben Tennyson is equipped with the Omnitrix, a level 20 tech device built by first thinker Azimuth of the Galvan. This device allows Ben to transform into various alien creatures from across 2 galaxies that we know of, and utilize their abilities to, save the world. By the end of the series, the Omnitrix contained 1,912 aliens. 99 have been unlocked, 71 named, and 61 Ben has been shown transforming into on screen. Ben has been in possession of 3 different Omnitrix devices across the 4 shows. The original Omnitrix, which had a 10-minute time limit to his transformations, and also caused Ben to transform into the wrong alien multiple times, which then recalibrated after 5 years, fixing all of those problems. Until he and Kevin tried to hack the Omnitrix and broke it again. Good going, guys. Unfortunately, Ben sacrificed that Omnitrix to prevent Vilgax from using it to power his Bioid army. Having no choice, Albedo gave Ben the Ultimatrix, which functions similar to the original Omnitrix but now includes an evolution feature. According to the late Dwayne McDuffie, the evolution feature worked by placing the selected species in a simulation, right down to the DNA for an extended period of time, about 1 million years or so, in what is described as the worst case scenario. The actual DNA is then simply modified to match the new DNA. This survival of the fittest routine explains why the evolutions are more combat-centered than their normal forms. So basically, if you threw an alien into a non-stop war zone for about 1 million years, this is what it would evolve into to survive. However, at the end of Ultimate Alien, Azimuth deemed Ben worthy of the official Omnitrix, which he had been working on since Ben found the prototype 6 years ago. But let's take a look at some of the actual alien transformations. More often than not, Ben's aliens all share the same characteristic of giving Ben some form of enhanced strength. Spider Monkey and Kickin' Hawk have been shown to be excellent choices for one-on-one combat. Ripjaw's teeth and jaw are strong enough to tear through even the toughest of metals. And of course, there's forearms. Ben's Tetraman form is strong enough to not only catch 4 missiles out of the air and clench onto them as they continue to move, but change the direction of them simply by turning his wrists. He can also smack his hands together to create a powerful sonic wave that could push back basically anything in his path. Humongosaur is even a step up from that. According to Eugene Sun, in Humongosaur's base form, he is strong enough to lift up a Toku Star, which averages about 120 feet tall and weighs between 55,000 and 74,000 pounds. Humongosaur can then sextuple in size, multiplying his strength by 6, making his maximum recorded strength about 444,000 pounds. Then of course, there's Waybig, an actual Toku Star, who I don't really feel like needs an explanation for his strength. The first alien that comes to mind whenever speed is mentioned is XLR8, one of the original 10 aliens in Ben's arsenal. At age 10, Ben's Kineseleran form can clock up to 500 miles per hour, about 65% of the speed of sound. It is unconfirmed just how fast Accelerate gets as Ben ages, but it was hinted that Ben is able to travel globally within seconds by age 30. Another speed alien Ben has is Fast Track, but I'm gonna skip over his specs as he has already been confirmed to be slower than XLR8. But to top that, Ben would have to transform into Jet Ray. His Aerophibian form is versatile in both air and water. In the Ultimate Alien episode Eye of the Beholder, Ben was able to travel across the galaxy at hyperspeed and stick a perfect landing. He is also able to breathe in space, which, you know, Goku can. Jet Ray has also been stated to be even faster when he's underwater, but his maximum speed has not been shown. This leaves Clockwork, Ben's Chrono Sapien form, who can slow down time to a complete halt, yet move through any terrain with ease. Hunter Zolomon, aka Zoom, one of the Flash's greatest threats, also had the ability to slow down time rather than just run at super speed. With that power, the Flash has stated that even at his fastest, Zoom was still a blur. So you can imagine what the Flash might feel about seeing an entire planet of aliens doing the very same thing. While not quite on his cousin Gwendolyn's level, Ben is also an incredibly skilled fighter, with and without the Omnitrix. Even in an alternate universe where Ben never even found the Omnitrix nor heard of aliens existing, he still had some pretty good moves. He is skilled in numerous fighting styles for hand-to-hand combat, from training with his cousin, the Plumber Academy, and just copying what he's seen off of video games. He has also been shown to use both close-range and long-range weapons. When you throw the Omnitrix back into the mix, Ben can be extremely creative and adaptive with his transformations. When Kevin Levin, former enemy and now best friend of Ben, absorbed the first 10 transformations from 10-year-old Ben's Omnitrix, Ben taught Kevin how to combine his alien's abilities to create unique and powerful attacks.
Accelerate speed, plus forearm strength, plus diamond head invulnerability equals...
one mean punch!
I guess after 6 years though, the lessons didn't stick.
Doofus, you've got the powers of a ghost. Come in already.
At the end of Season 2 of the classic series, Back with a Vengeance, Ben has temporary access to the Master Control, allowing Ben to switch between alien form at will without having to turn human first, and no time limit for his transformations. And just look how effortlessly versatile this 10-year-old is, executing a multitude of evasive and offensive moves while constantly changing form every few seconds. While scenes like this are very visually stunning, think about how much cognitive dexterity you would need to pull this off. At the time, Ben had 12 transformations, so his decision making for exactly which form to change into and what to do with it as the events are happening are incredibly impressive. Years later, he has only gotten better, and can now change form mid-battle whenever he wants without the Master Control. However, now his transformation time limit is based on how much energy the Omnitrix has, instead of an exact time frame. So depending on how Ben uses the Omnitrix, transformations can last anywhere from a few hours to just a couple of brief seconds. But Ben also has the option to turn on the Life Form Lock, which genetically locks Ben into a single transformation with no chance of a timeout, should the situation call for it. No segue needed, I'm just gonna jump right in. Toddler Pyronites, or baby heat blasts, can reach supernova temperatures whenever they have a tantrum, so an adult Pyronite can speak for itself. There's also NRG, whose body emits a constant radiation so harmful to most species that he has to stay in a full-body cage whenever he's off his home planet. Atomics can execute and manipulate an unknown powerful nuclear energy and is easily one of Ben's strongest transformations. Ben usually refrains from this form unless absolutely necessary due to its destructive nature. Moving back to previously mentioned aliens, Waybig can emit powerful cosmic beams when he crosses his arms that are strong enough to damage Dagon, a multi-dimensional being made of living energy. Waybig's cosmic beams can hurt living energy. There's Clockwork, who can fire time rays, which basically rapidly age whatever it targets into dust, instantly killing them. Now, even if all of that is not enough to convince you that there's more to this Omnitrix bearer than meets the eye, there's one final transformation that basically takes the cake, and that of course is Ben's Celestial Sapien form, Alien X. His powers are the ability to alter reality in any way he wants with no potential limits. Seriously. He can manipulate time, space, create whatever he wants, destroy whatever he wants, etc. Now, omnipotence is definitely an ability you'd want to keep in check. So Celestial Sapiens all have 3 personalities that share one body. When Ben transforms into Alien X, he becomes one of these 3 personalities. For him, there's Bellicus, the voice of rage and aggression. Serena, the voice of love and compassion. Ben takes the place as the voice of reason. And yes, each Celestial Sapien has their own unique trio of floating heads. To do anything, at least 2 of the 3 personalities must agree to execute the motion. This could lead to a disadvantage in battle, as there are times where Ben is still debating with Bellicus and Serena, so his body is completely motionless. He's still indestructible in that state though, so it doesn't exactly leave him vulnerable. It just doesn't get anything done either. There are many times where Ben has successfully used Alien X, such as his debut episode where he was able to rewind time but only in a specific spot, or in Omniverse where he failed to stop the Annihilar from blowing up the universe, so he just created a new one.